Yo, what's up, family? What's happening?
Hello.
Hey, it's 6:30 on Thursday. You already know. Time to get a little sharp. I hope you're doing good, having a great week so far. Staying focused on what it is you're supposed to be staying focused on, and continue to push and go forward with it, and just trying to make things happen, right? So, putting yourself in position for it to happen. So, um, stay with the process. Okay, stay with the process. Keep going. So before we get started with what we want to talk about today, is a couple of things I want to say. And yes, this is going to be a shameless plug, but it's okay. Okay, y'all know I'm in the insurance business, and we do I do health insurance, and so we're about to embark on to open enrollment. Starts November 1. So I'm going to put my website down in this Facebook Live chat, and I'm also going to put it on the YouTube so you can see it right below in the description. But if you know anyone who's in need of health insurance, y'all know that's what I do. So of course I got to talk about it. I got to let you know. But if anyone needs some health insurance, especially those on the marketplace, I can help you either way, marketplace, or if you need your own individual plan outside of the marketplace. We're gonna see what's best for you. So just check me out. And also one other thing before we get started, I'm gonna ask that you do. Um, my senior advisor, my partner, Rick. Y'all heard me talk about him on here, and he's a frequent visitor on here. I'm gonna ask you that you keep Rick and his family in your prayers. That's my guy. That's my mentor. That's my senior advisor. But unfortunately, him and his family are going through right now because his brother passed away. So I'm gonna ask that you keep Rick, his sister-in-law, in your prayers. Tough time for the family. You know, many of us know that when you lose someone close to you or someone in the family, it's never easy. It's never easy, and so the family is going through right now, and so just keep them in your prayers. Okay, that's all I'm asking. And so
Let's pray for families everywhere too.
yeah, let's do that. Yes, yes. Families are under attack, because the enemy mad, right? And so when he's mad, he's going to go after what he feel like he needs to go after. And so, that's yes. Keep families in prayer. Okay. Yeah. So before we get started, let's do what we always do on the count of three. Ready? One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two, three. All right, all right. I think I needed that myself because it's just been a constant flow all day, and so this has been my first moment to do that, and so yeah, that one felt good. And then we're outside, so I got some fresh air along with that. So, but this is where we're going to go. Y'all know I've been on. I guess if you've done something more than twice, can you call that a series?
I'm not sure what the definition of series is.
But I'm gonna call it series because I've been on my perspective series, right? So this will be like the third time I've said something about perspective, and so I'm, with perspective, y'all know how I've been rolling with that over the last couple of weeks, and we all have a different perspective. We can be looking at the same thing, but see something totally different, or it means something different to us, or we view it differently in some way, shape, or form. So that's not saying your perspective is not wrong. That's just how you view it, right? And my perspective may not be wrong. It's just how I see it, right? Or how I view it. So we're still on the perspective thing, but we also want to add a little something to that. And this word right here is a word that we all are quite familiar with, and we have heard people talk about it time and time again, and you're probably going to hear more folk talk about it time and time again. I've talked about it on here over the years that I've been doing this, but that word is faith. Okay, and we want to talk about faith. Hey Joe, hope you're doing well. Hey Corliss, hope you're doing well as well. But when we talk about faith, we can go a whole lot of different directions with that. But of course, we got a few scriptures that we're going to read and we're going to talk about. But my hope and my prayer is that by the time we hit the stop button on this for tonight, that something will be said to spark your faith, to keep going, or to get started, or to just believe that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, or you're moving in the right direction, or Faith can even say, you know what? I know I've been doing it this way for so long, but I think it's time. I feel like I need to be doing something different. I need to be going a different direction. And sometimes it's going to take some faith to do that, right? Because, one name that came to mind, and then we were just talking about it briefly here before we got started, is that I thought about Noah, right? Noah, all y'all know the story about Noah and him building the ark. And you can read the story at your own leisure. But you think about Noah back then, he was making this huge boat, like huge boat. Yeah, I don't even think they were getting even a little simple rainstorm on the day while he was making this boat, and people looking at him crazy, and they looking at him and talking about him, and like, you crazy for what you're doing, and you don't need to do all that. Why are you doing it? So people questioning why he's doing it, but in his mind and in his heart, he believed that this is what he was called to do and what he was supposed to do. And had he listened to the folk, and he listened, let the noise around him engulf him and get him unfocused, unfocused on what he was supposed to be doing. He might not have, number one, might not have made it in the Bible, but number two, it wouldn't have made such an impact in the world because of what he did. You know, it's not saying, it never said anything about Noah being a righteous man and being better than anybody or any, but it talked about him having faith that what he heard and what he believed he was supposed to be doing, he did it despite what other people said or whatever people thought. And so we can learn something from Noah. We can learn a lot from Noah, because you may be called to do something that's totally opposite of what you've been doing for the last 30, 40, 50, 20, 80 years of your life. And all of a sudden you're going to make a change, and people ain't going to understand it. They're not going to agree with it. It doesn't make sense to them, but it makes sense to you because it's been placed on you in your heart to do it. And you have a strong urge, a strong pulling to do it. You're going to have to fight against the noise. You're going to have to fight against what people may say or think, okay, in order for you to make it happen. You got anything, babe?
No, just, that book that we're going to focus on, Hebrews 11.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the time to read it, the whole chapter, it has many, many characters in the Bible that exercise faith. So it kind of gives you a summary of a lot of the people in the Bible and the faith that they had in God.
Yes. Yeah. And so we're going to get into faith, and we're not going to be before you long, but I want to, give you the definition according to what's in the
Google.
Google, yeah, or Merriam-Webster via internet. Faith, strong belief in God or in the doctrines of a religion based on spiritual apprehension rather than proof. Okay, and that's interesting. It says that because there's actually a scripture that pretty much says that exact same thing. But for me, I had to break down the word apprehension. Okay, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, okay, what that mean? Okay, apprehension. Apprehension simply means understanding. Okay, apprehension means understanding. So to read it, I'm gonna add that word. I'm gonna read it one more time, but I'm gonna change that word apprehension to understanding. Strong belief in God or in the doctrines of a religion based on spiritual understanding rather than proof. To me, when I add that word in, it gets it a little clearer for me. So basically, in a nutshell, I might not see it. It might not have happened yet, but I see it in the spirit. I see it happening. I believe it's going to happen. Even though I don't physically see it, I can see it. Hopefully that makes sense, what I'm saying, right? So come on, man.
Yeah, so it's trusting and having confidence in God.
So
believing even though you don't see him.
Yes. So we're going to go to our scriptures. I want you to read Matthew 18 and 20 first. But faith, that's what we're talking about. Was the evidence of things not seen. But read that 18 and 20. You got it? I think it's up. No, 18 and I think it's up top here. Nope. I'm sorry. We're gonna get there. We had it.
Yeah. Oh no, that's not what we're looking for. I'll find it.
Oh,
Let's go
okay.
to the next one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let me read Hebrews.
Oh, shucks. Got to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah, we Hebrews 1. I'm sorry. I apologize. We'll find that.
Takes two.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go to Hebrews 11, verses 1 through 6. Faith is the confidence that that what we hope for will actually happen. It gives us assurance about things we cannot see.
Stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the definition right there. The definition that I just read from Merriam-Webster, Google, whatever you want to choose. That's exactly what it just said right there. I just read Hebrews 1 more time. It just gave you the definition right there. It's saying the same thing. Say it again, baby.
Faith is the confidence that what we hope for will actually happen.
Yes.
It gives us assurance about things we cannot see.
So your faith has to be strong. Again, Noah. I just want to hang my hat with Noah because that one just really sticks out to me, because can you imagine it's a dry season and you building this huge boat, and it doesn't even say that Noah was beside the ocean when he was building this thing. You know, I just imagine him in the middle of somewhere where there's no water and you building this huge boat. I mean, humongous boat. And the people looking at him like, yo, dude, what you doing, man? Why are you wasting your time? Ain't no rain, ain't no water around here. What you doing all that for? Yeah, I imagine when that flood came, they sung a different story. They said a different story, right? And so, you know, we can relate to that because there are some things in your heart, and there's some things that you've been pushing for and you've been driving for and you've been going after, and it just has not happened yet. And that's the key, yet, because there's that something on the inside that just keeps you going. It just keeps you pushing because you see it in your mind. You believe it's going to happen. That's faith. That's faith. And you got to hold on to that. I think, and Matthew, I think it was about mustard seed.
Right. Yeah,
right.
Matthew 17.
Yeah, 17. I said it wrong. I'm sorry. Instead of 18, it was 17:20. You know, it's the mustard seed. You don't have to have a whole, it just takes a little bit of faith. Just a little bit of faith for you to be able to move mountains. Read it for yourself. 17. So those big things that you feel like is blocking you or is in your way, what are you built on? What is your foundation? Your foundation on Christ, knowing that he got you. Now, either you're going to allow, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm feeling this a little bit, but you got to understand that when you got something that you've been called to do, or you got something that you feel is tugging, and y'all hear me talk about it all the time. There's something that you really want to accomplish. And there's something that just gives you a peace about it. There's something that just says, you know what? I can do this. It will happen. I got to just keep going. I can't quit. And that's you holding on to your faith, right? And by holding on to your faith that it's going to happen, that you're going to be able to, that's like a little mustard seed is not big. If you ever saw a mustard seed, it's I can't even say how small it is. It is just unbelievable how small a mustard seed, but that's all you need. It's almost like a grain of salt almost. That's how small it is. But yet that faith, that little bit of faith can make so much and can affect so much, not only in your life, but in this world and the people around you, simply because you believe and you know what's going to happen. And by you holding on to it, now, when it finally happens, you ain't even got to say, I told you so. You ain't even got to say that, because it's going to show for itself. But you got to hold on. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep believing. Okay? This faith, I'm not going to say it's easy, because circumstances happen. Situations happen. Things just don't look like it's shaping up or lining up the way it's supposed to be. But there still has to be something on the inside of you that says, keep going. Don't quit. Just one more rep, just one more day, just one more push, just one more word, just one more. Just keep with the one more. And that one more is going to turn into something that's going to absolutely blow your mind. Come on, babe.
Oh, yes.
Come
So
on.
let's continue on. All right.
We're back on Hebrews. We're back on Hebrews because I already talked about Matthew.
Through their faith, the people in days of old earned a good reputation.
Mm-hmm.
By faith, we understand that the entire universe was formed at God's command, that what we now see did not come from anything that can be seen.
So what you believe? What do you believe? And I think I talked about it a couple weeks ago when it came to Christ, and Christ asked the disciples, who do you say that I am? Okay? So we're really talking about your foundation, building on your foundation. Foundation believing, and it says right there that believing that Christ, it wasn't the Big Bang Theory. It was him saying, poof, let it be. And it was so. That's what happened. Okay? And yet we don't see him. But we know that he created all of this for us. He created that. Now, either you believe it or you don't. Okay? But that's your foundation. And then because you know he exists and he did all of this, now why can't he do more for us? Why he can't do for us if he was able to create and do all of this? If he that good, and that's pretty miraculous as you look around on this earth and what's been created. That's pretty miraculous. So what makes you think that your little situation, now I'm going to say a little because it doesn't even compare to this universe that we're in. It doesn't compare to his glory. It doesn't compare to the stuff and things that he's created. So that little situation we going through and that we dealing with, he can snap his finger like that and it'd be done. But we got to show that we believe in him and that we trust that he got us and that he's going to make it happen. So there's things for us to learn that helps us continue to push. And we got to go through it to understand. That's a faith move. Come on, babe.
And yeah, he's talking about the creation in Genesis. And God created us as well.
Yes.
In Genesis.
Yes. And they just touched on it right there in Matthew 11.
Right.
So come on.
All right.
Yeah.
Hebrews 11.
I'm in Hebrews. I'm sorry. Hebrews.
Verse 3. By faith, we understand that the entire universe was formed at God's command.
Yes, there it is.
That what we now see did not come from anything that can be seen. So we just read that. Now we're going to go to 4. It was by faith that Abel brought a more acceptable offering to God than Cain did. Abel's offering gave evidence that he was a righteous man, and God showed his approval of his gifts.
There it is.
Although Abel is long dead, he still speaks to us by his example of faith.
Yes. Yep. Keep going.
It was by faith that Enoch was taken up to heaven without dying. He disappeared because God took him. For before he was taken up, he was known as a person who pleased God.
Yep.
And it is impossible to please God without faith.
That's it right there. And that's what we want to stop right there. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Now, there's some more to that. Finish that. I'm sorry. There's a little bit more. There's some more with that. Because it's impossible to please God. But come on, talk about it.
Anyone who wants to come to him must believe that God exists. So you must believe in God.
Yes.
And that he rewards those who sincerely or diligently, in some versions, seek him.
That's it. So believe. That's faith. Believing is faith. You believe that he is God, number one. So that's your foundation. Okay. And then you believe that he can do any and everything. He can do the impossible. He can do the possible. Right? He can do it all. Okay. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Now, if you believe that, awesome. So then it also tell you something else you got to do in order to get. You got to diligently seek him. It says that. Okay. So we can't just take bits and pieces. We got to take the whole thing and we got to digest the whole thing. Okay. It says that he's a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. So it's nothing wrong with you seeking him for where you're supposed to be going and what you're supposed to be doing and when you're supposed to do it and how you're supposed to do it. There's nothing wrong with seeking him when you ain't sure. You don't have a clue, or you might have a clue, but you ain't sure if the clue you got is the right one. Right? So you got to seek him. You got to talk to him. You got to build a relationship with him so that you can know that you're on the right path. Okay, the path that you on is the path that you're supposed to be on. But then again, If you're not sure, that's why you need to diligently seek him so that you can make sure. Because you don't need to be wasting no more time. I think we did enough of that. We need to take the time that we have right now and seek him to make sure that we're on the path we're supposed to be on. Okay? It's nothing wrong with asking questions. It's nothing wrong with saying, God, I ain't sure if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Because he will show you, he will prove himself. He will prove himself. Okay? And so this faith thing, I just, I hope it did justice on talking about faith, and hopefully you understood and got something out of this. But just know that you have to diligently seek him, but you got to trust him. You got to believe that he is who he is, and he will do what he said he would do. You got to trust. You got to believe. You got to know in your heart that he got you regardless of what it looks like, regardless of what it feels like, regardless of what folks saying, regardless of what other folk are doing. Your call, your direction might not be the same as theirs. A lot of times for us, we're not going to go the same direction because we're a little different. Okay? Because we were called to be different, because he wants to do something different in us and through us. They say there's nothing new under the sun, but it's new for us if we never experienced it. So we have to get connected with him. So that either your faith, your belief is either going to, either your perspective is either going to feed your faith or it's going to starve your faith. And your perspective is based on who you say he is to you, what you believe he has called you to do. Your perspective can either feed your faith or it can starve your faith. Hopefully what you're doing is going to feed your faith. Come on, babe.
So another good example of faith is in the story in the Bible when it talks about feeding the 5,000 and how Jesus, he prayed over the food. He believed that he would be able to make enough food for all those the crowd that came to seek him. And he prayed over it, and then he and he fed the 5,000. And so as Ron has been doing over the course of this series, he's teaching us how to, the same concept, pray, plan, what's your
prepare,
proceed. It's the same concept. Believe, pray about it and act. He says in 4 P's, but that's the same kind of concept.
Yes. It's a faith thing.
It's a faith thing. Because see, there's another one.
Faith without works. Y'all done heard me say that time and time again. Faith without works is dead. Faith is all about believing that it will happen. Believe that it can happen. Believe that he is who he said he is. And believe that he is what he is to you. Okay? You believe that. You stand on that. You be firm with that. But it takes a little bit more. That means you got to go do something. That's the reason why I came up with that pray, plan, prepare, proceed. Because we're going to pray about it. We're going to seek him. We're going to diligently seek him. Okay, well, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're supposed to do. The scripture just told us that. Diligently, and he's going to reward you for diligently seeking him. Because when you seek him, now you're looking for his direction, not your direction, not Brother Main's direction, not Sister Girl's direction. You're looking for his direction, which is going to be the right one, the right direction for you to go. So when you're seeking him diligently, he's going to reward you for that. Okay, but seeking him is work. Okay. Seeking him, that means you doing something. Okay. So then you're going to take a step further, write the vision and make it plain. Okay. Okay. And then you're going to start to gather. You're going to get the information. You're going to seek information and direction. You diligently seeking him, but you're also doing the leg work that you got to do so that you showing him, God, not only do I trust and believe, but since you gave me this, all right, I'm going to go ahead and push. I'm going to go ahead and prepare. I'm going to go ahead and get a little deeper into it. I'm going to go ahead and just go all out because I know and believe that this is not only what you called me to do, but this is where you want me to go. And then you're going to bless me as a result because I trust you. And I know that this is what you told me to do. So I am going to continue to go forward until you said different. This is where I'm going to continue to go.
Yeah,
And by faith, we make it do what it do.
that's right.
All right.
All right.
You got anything?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, we out of here. So hopefully this has been a blessing to you. I know it's been a blessing to me because I told y'all every week. A lot of times I'm speaking to myself. I ain't just talking to y'all. This is for me as well. So hopefully your faith has been ramped up a few notches and you keep going and you stay on your grind. So as we always say, pray, plan, prepare, proceed. Let's go make it do what it do. We'll see you next week at 6:30. Love you.
See you. Love you.